Welcome back. We are live on Channel 4. Sebastian Vettel has won the Bahrain Grand Prix. Bottas second, Hamilton third. Thank you. Double DNFs for Red Bull. Max Verstappen crashed. Did Lewis crash into him, or did he crash into Lewis? You tell us, DC.
Well, look, this was good stuff down into the first corner, but where I think Max has just been a bit too aggressive is he's continued to open the steering. We know that as racers, when you do that, you're just sort of trying to give someone a little slap across the face. It's too tight. The next corner, he would have been compromised in his line anyway. And Hamilton's unlikely to want to make his car suddenly become, invisible. So I think that Max has to, on reflection, look at that and go, once I'd got the inside line, then I should have just left a bit more space, because there was no way for Hamilton to come back at him before turn two. Yeah, well, Max disagrees with you. He was disappointed the stewards didn't pursue it. They said no action required. What do you think?
I went DC. Look, it's 2 times in 2 days he's had that little walk back there, and I think it's it is a fine line between the White House and the other house. But in terms of he did open the wheel, and Lewis has been around the block. He's not also doesn't want to damage his own car, but Lewis went 50-50 on the brakes with him, got to the apex. Max had pretty much done the move, but you don't need to continue to keep forcing and driving the issue. The cars are wide now, so in the end, Max, I went DC. He could have given me a bit more room. Okay, and of course Daniel Ricciardo, his DNF courtesy of a faulty car. But let's hear from some more happy drivers, and that'll be Kevin Magnussen, P5. Let's hear from him.
Kevin, P5 today, another very happy driver.
Yeah, very happy, very pleased. P5 is a good way to start the championship, because that's what we've done today, is start our bit of the championship. So I'm really happy, I'm really pleased, proud of the team, especially the guys in the pit stop who had a tough time between Australia and here, and just went back to basics, and today did what they do best. So they really delivered, and I'm extremely proud of them.
How was the car throughout the race? Because on that opening lap, we saw you cutting across the grass, and I think maybe you lost a bit of bodywork as well.
Yeah, I had a fairly big contact with one of the Renaults, and it was okay for a while, but then it started vibrating a lot, and I was so nervous that it was going to break. So I started backing off the curbs, and you lose some lap time. So I knew I didn't really have a fight on my hands to Gasly. But I was in a good position in P5, and I just wanted it to not break and carry it home.
Well done. Thank you. Cheers.
Susie, Mr. Magnussen's on the up and up, isn't he?
Yeah, it was a solid race for him. There was a couple of incidents in the race where he got a bit close to his teammate, and
it's delicious, wasn't it?
It was getting a bit harum-scarum at one point, but he got P5 in the end, so a fantastic result for Haas, especially off the back of a difficult start to the season.
Oh, they needed that. Let's hear from another happy driver. That'll be Fernando Alonso, P7.
Well, Fernando, that was a great race. I mean, after the disappointment of qualifying, just sum it up for us.
Yeah, definitely. Points are given on Sundays, so it's another great race for the team. Great job by the team. Pit stops, strategy, everyone worked perfectly today. We were obviously disappointed for the result yesterday, but we still hope that the race was better and falling into our hands. We did a good job at the start. We overtook a couple of cars, and then after that we had the pace to stay with the front train. And I think 5th in Australia, 7th here, 16 points is great, But at the same time, we know that this weekend was not good enough in terms of performance, so we need to raise our level.
Great to see you overtaking Hamilton at one point.
Yeah, obviously I didn't know the positions, there is so much action in the first lap that you don't exactly know where you are. But I look at the mirror once, and I saw Hamilton behind, so I said the position is not bad, because if I'm in front of Lewis, it means that I overtook a couple of cars in between. So let's keep it.
Now, after a weekend like this, Fernando, is there a message for the guys back at the MTC from you to them about how they go about their business?
No, I think that the message is clear. It's not a message to anyone. It's a message to ourselves. We know that we have the potential. We know that the car has some good things, some bad things. We need to make sure we improve the bad things as soon as possible. New parts are coming, I know, and hopefully they are improving the car. But whatever we have in our hands on Sunday here on the track, we will deliver. We will push to the limits, and today was another good race.
wasn't it just 13th to 7th? The performance seesaw of McLaren DC is emotionally draining. I'm up, I'm down, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, when you saw the team last night after qualifying, you know, there wasn't a lot of eye contact going on. They were distraught because it's a head scratcher, isn't it? But I think, as we heard from Toto, the way these tyres are reacting to different cars and different track temperatures, it's not actually always playing out that the softer of the tyres, let's call them the qualifying tyres, is working for these teams. That was a shocker for McLaren yesterday, but as Fernando said, that was a great recovery today and a bit of pressure off.
Absolutely. Now I would like to take another look at that Raikkonen pit stop. We're not going to see the guy hurting himself. No sense looking at that, but what went wrong?
Well, it looks like, again, there's a gun issue on the left rear here. I spoke to a few mechanics, and they're getting actually concerned now because they're getting so much pressure from the team management, from the teams in general, that they've got to use the technology to their best of their ability, obviously, but also they're getting to a point where these stops can't get any faster. And now we're looking at, that's the end result. We've got a guy with it sounds like a very, very nasty leg fracture. We're talking, you know, maybe some open fractures as well, which is a lot of energy in his leg to do that type of injury to himself. So he was just, you know, leg in front still. So he was totally mid-pit stop mentality. And Kimi has done the right thing by getting the green light. He's done nothing wrong. But the gun red torque, apparently, which means that the gun showed green. So all the green lights have been around all four corners. The main light's been green. So Kimi's gone. You know, there's no, you know, he's doing his thing. So maybe they have to look at this. I know there's a few teams like Red Bull a little bit more old-fashioned and a little bit more protection, maybe a bit more slower. So there's definitely something going on here in terms of whether they need to step in, and this arms race within the pit stop battle here needs to be looked at safety-wise.
That's a good point. Right now, let's go to the results with Ben Edwards, shall we?
So Sebastian Vettel wins the Bahrain Grand Prix ahead of Bottas and Hamilton. Pierre Gasly a stunning 4th ahead of Kevin Magnussen. Nico Hülkenberg in 6th for Renault. And the two McLarens of Alonso and Van Dorn next. And Marcus Ericsson and Esteban Ocon scoring their first points of the 2018 season. It all means that Sebastian Vettel leads the championship by 17 points now over Lewis Hamilton. Bottas in 3rd. And look at Alonso. He's in 4th place in the championship ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. Hülkenberg's in there. Ricciardo failed to finish, of course. So Pierre Gasly's moved up to 8th, Magnussen 9th, and Verstappen all the way down in 10th place. Leading the constructors, it is Ferrari, 10 points ahead of Mercedes, and McLaren are 3rd best at the moment due to that double retirement from Red Bull Racing. Renault are 5th, Toro Rosso 6th, and as we go down the list, it's just Williams that have failed to score so far this year.
Well, McLaren are now 3rd in the constructors. Again, emotional. See, it's up and down. It's all over the place.
Yeah, it was interesting in the top 10 result. There was 8 teams in the top 10 today. So when you talk about it not being fair enough, etc., you have got the chance out there now. So, yeah.
I tell you what, I want to give him a name check because it's been 50 races. Marcus Ericsson in the points today. 2 points, finishing 9th. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Marcus.
It's fantastic. It really is. For that team to get points, it's really, really good. And for them, that will feel like a podium today.
Yeah. I'm not being facetious, by the way. I mean,
you did sound a bit sarcastic.
No, I think it's a great thing. I'm a big fan of the guy.
You like the tall drivers, don't you? You tall man, you.
But he's done extremely well. That's all I'm saying. It's a great thing.
That's what early in the season does, Steve. You know, there is results. There's a bit of attrition. There's a bit of reliability. A few mistakes. Pit stops as well can be screwed up. So that's where these smaller teams can chip away and get the odd points in early doors, because later in the season everyone's drilled down, and that's when you've got to you know, make sure you got the points in the bank already.
Let's hear from Lewis Hamilton, shall we?
Lewis, that looked like a tough day at the office, but 9th to 3rd. How do you sum it all up?
Yeah, I mean, it was not an easy race, but one that afterwards, now I've kind of cooled down. I feel quite happy with the result. It was really damage limitation, and to get in the top 3, I think, is a great result for myself and for the team. I think the guys did a fantastic job, and it's great also to have me and Valtteri in 2nd and 3rd, because it's points up against Ferrari. Ideally, we would prefer we didn't have the gearbox issue that we had this weekend, but I was really happy with my race pace. I think the race pace worked out well.
Can I just ask you about 2 incidents in particular? The first one with Max Verstappen, what was your take on that?
I don't remember exactly what point of the... Was it a restart or something? I can't remember exactly what point of the race it had.
Lap 2, very early on.
Was I passing him or was he passing me?
coming down into turn 1. Who was passing who? Yeah, you tell her.
It's been passing me. I don't remember it all, but yeah, I mean, we collided. Obviously, run me out of road in turn 1. It was just, I felt at the time it was just unnecessary to do so. I mean, he was past. I couldn't get by, but there was no need to push by. And I mean, for me, it was kind of frustrating because that could have been me out of the race through a relatively silly maneuver, obviously, because it ended his race. And there was not much I could do really to avoid him from hitting me there. So I don't know, it's just a bit unnecessary, but these kind of things happen. It's a racing incident. But in the heat of the moment, for sure, you can get frustrated.
He said. Yeah. Apparently it was Max's fault, not Lewis's.
Brilliant political move, wasn't it? You know the old, not sure what's going on. Get the answer ready. Oh yeah, I remember that, mate. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, he was right. What we thought, Max was in the wrong.
Yeah. You guys enjoy yourself this weekend?
Sensational.
Yeah, good time.
Nice to be reunited.
That's the Formula One we want to see. Am I right?
Absolutely loved it. Great race.
It's been an absolute joy, although there's bad news and good news. The bad news is that's it for the Bahrain Grand Prix. The good news is we're back in just a week's time with the Chinese Grand Prix for you good people. I hope you can join us. I hope you enjoyed this weekend. We surely have. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.